Have you ever stopped to think that it's not always life that holds you back, but the people you allow around you? I know it sounds extreme, but the truth is, while you fight to grow, there are real emotional energy thieves disguised as friends, colleagues, or even mentors. And what if I told you that your success might be quietly sabotaged, not by life's great tragedies, but by the daily presence of certain toxic personalities? Many people believe that hard work alone will take them far. But Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and other great Stoics warned us what you emotionally tolerate defines how far you'll go. And if you don't learn to protect your mental peace, to draw boundaries, you may end up trapped in problems that don't even belong to you. Today, I'm going to show you the 7 personalities that act like invisible anchors in your life. Each one quietly steals your peace, drains your resilience, and sabotages your growth. If you truly want to build a strong, free, and grounded life, you need to recognize these profiles and learn how to handle them. Are you ready to face what you may not want to see? There are people who seem to have a PhD in complaining, right? Nothing is ever good enough. If it rains, they complain about the rain. If it's sunny, they complain about the heat. Living around a chronic complainer drains your emotional battery before you even notice. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate inner calm amid outer storms. It's not about pretending problems don't exist, it's about choosing what deserves your energy. One of the biggest dangers? Negativity is contagious. Like a virus, all it takes is prolonged exposure to someone who only sees the worst, and suddenly, your world looks grayer too. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And walking beside someone who attracts drama makes every step heavier than it needs to be. Protecting your peace of mind is an act of responsibility. You don't need to burn bridges or start fights. The secret lies in mental distance, listening without absorbing, being present without entangling emotionally. Practicing what Stoics call listening like a rock firm, unmoved, is a powerful technique to stay centered. Here's a practical example when the complainer starts their usual horror story. Instead of trying to fix their worldview or get dragged into it, remind yourself silently, "That's not my energy." A powerful trick is to visualize a shield between you and the complaint as if their words arrive, but never pass through your peace. Another tool is the soft redirect. Instead of joining the complaint, shift the conversation gently towards something constructive. If someone complains about work, ask them, "What do you think could be improved about that?" This not only changes the dynamic, it protects your emotional state. Of course, there will be days when even with all the techniques, other people's weight tries to push into your space. In those moments, remember what Epictetus said: it's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Their negativity only becomes your burden if you allow it. That self-awareness is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. And if you think protecting your peace is selfish, think again. Without inner calm, you're vulnerable to every emotional storm that passes. Worse, you become another disguised complainer yourself without realizing it. Want to grow? Then tend to your inner garden, even if it means distancing from those who keep trying to rain on it. Some people, they thrive in chaos. Ever notice? If there's no argument, gossip, or crisis, they'll create one. The issue is, living with a drama magnet drains your emotional energy and shifts your focus away from your real challenges. As Stoicism teaches, if you lose control of your mind, you lose control of your life. These personalities are dangerous because they normalize turmoil. You get used to always being on edge, spending your calm on conflicts that were never yours to begin with. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And in this case, not being like them means becoming unavailable for their emotional theater. The reflective listening technique is your ally. Instead of diving into the story, stay emotionally detached. Respond with neutrality. Something like, "I can see that you feel that way." No judgment. No fuel added to a fire that was never yours. Your role is to stay centered. Another strategy? Selective unavailability. You have every right to ignore those long calls, those late-night messages, those repeat dramas. Your emotional energy is sacred, and growth demands knowing when, where, and with whom to spend it. Herace, an example, a friend caught in constant family conflict, always asking you to pick sides. Instead of stepping into the arena, say, "I trust you'll find the best way through this." Simple, clear, and drama-free. That kind of boundary, it's emotional armor. At first, you might feel cold or distant. But ask yourself, what's the use of joining someone else's emotional storm if it drowns you too? Epictetus reminded us, it's not the things themselves, but the judgment we place on them. Choosing not to get entangled isn't coldness. It's wisdom. And Herace, a truth many don't want to hear: there is no lasting success without inner peace. Those who feed on drama are always at war with themselves. Step away, gently but firmly, because the time you spend trying to rescue someone who doesn't want help is the time you could be using to build your own freedom. Do you know someone who starts every sentence with, "But no matter the plan, no matter the dream"? That's the pessimist, a master at shooting down ideas before they even take root. Being around them is like trying to light a fire during a thunderstorm. Stoicism teaches us to guard our emotional energy like we would a sacred treasure, because the mind is the first territory to conquer or to lose. The danger of the pessimist isn't just what they say, it's how they make you feel. Little by little, you start doubting your ideas, your goals, even your self-worth. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not external events. And part of that power is shielding your hope from those who only see shadows. Want to flip the script? Turn your encounters with pessimists into training. Use their objections as a tool. Ask yourself, can I take anything useful from this? If yes, adjust. If not, let it go. What matters most is not allowing their doubt to take root in your own mind. Also, be aware pessimism often wears the mask of realism. The energy manipulator knows how to sound wise while planting fear. That's why you must stay aware. Notice how certain conversations leave you. Do you feel heavier? Smaller? Unmotivated? That's your sign. Herace, a real-life example. You share a new idea, and they reply, "That'll never work." Instead of defending or giving up, remind yourself silently that's their vision, not mine, and move forward. Your mission isn't to convince everyone, it's to protect your mental peace and your future. There's also value in choosing who gets access to your dreams. Epictetus said, "Do not expose your soul to those who cannot appreciate its worth." Not everyone deserves to know your plans. Sometimes, growth means being emotionally strategic, knowing what to say, who to tell, and when to remain silent. And never forget, pessimism is easy. Courage is rare. If you want to live a bold life, You need to look beyond other people's fears. The pessimist will always plant clouds, but you don't have to live beneath them. The sky you choose is yours alone. Then there's the perpetual victim, the person who always has a sad story to tell, where they're the misunderstood hero or the one life keeps kicking. The problem? That victim mindset becomes their identity, and it's a silent poison. It drains your emotional energy, and if you're not careful, it pulls you into the mud of self-pity too. Stoicism reminds us responsibility is the first step to freedom. The victim's greatest trick is guilt. They make you feel like their suffering is your fault. But the truth is, everyone is responsible for their own path. Marcus Aurelius put it simply: the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. And anyone who lives in blame has already surrendered their strength and may try to take yours with them. That's where compassionate detachment comes in. Have empathy, yes, but don't carry someone else's burden if they refuse to set it down. You can care without becoming their emotional hostage. You can listen without being cast as a supporting actor in a never-ending tragedy. For example, when the victim starts listing all the unfairness in their life, their boss, the weather, the traffic, the world, instead of fixing everything or taking on their mood, try asking, what do you plan to do about it? That simple question gently places the responsibility back in their hands where it belongs. Race another red flag: the victim rarely wants real solutions. They're not seeking help, they're seeking an audience. They want sympathy, not change. That's why it's crucial to stay aware. Because playing along costs you your peace, your energy, and your precious time. Epictetus teaches, we should not seek for things to happen as we wish, but to wish that they happen as they do. In other words, accept that some people need the victim role. You don't have to fix them. You just need to protect your inner calm and walk your path with clarity and strength. And one final truth here: the more you grow, the more people will reach for your help. But not every call for help is real. Some people don't want rescue, they want company in the wreckage. Recognizing that isn't heartless, it's mature. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away and show, by example, that change is possible. Not all positive energy is truly healthy, and at first, that might sound strange. But the toxic optimist is the one who denies pain, pretends everything's wonderful, and invalidates real emotions. The danger? Living in this theater of everything's fine blocks true personal growth. As Stoicism teaches, wisdom comes from courageously facing reality, not escaping it. When someone pushes you to just think positive while you're grieving, struggling, or facing real fears, they may not realize it, but they're pressuring you to silence your own emotions. Marcus Aurelius said, the human soul adapts to adversity, but first it must acknowledge it. Denying pain is like trying to heal a wound by pretending it's not there. The best way to deal with toxic positivity? Embrace emotional complexity. Instead of pretending, validate your feelings honestly. Admit, today, I'm not at my best, and that's okay. I'm growing stronger. That simple honesty builds true resilience, the kind that comes from meeting your own vulnerability with compassion. It's also crucial to recognize the difference between healthy optimism and toxic positivity. Healthy optimism says, yes, it's hard, but I believe I can overcome. Toxic positivity says, smile, even if the ship is sinking. One builds strength. The other builds shame, and shame quietly erodes your ability to grow. Race a practical example: someone minimizes your pain by saying, at least you're healthy, or it could be worse. Instead of absorbing that invalidation, take a deep breath and affirm to yourself, my emotions are valid. And if you feel it's right, you can say calmly, I prefer to face reality rather than pretend it doesn't hurt. You're not arguing. You're defending your mental peace with wisdom. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Every encounter with toxic positivity is an opportunity to strengthen your calmness. You can be kind without canceling yourself, hopeful without being naive, and above all, you can grow without pretending to be emotionally flawless. Ultimately, dealing with the toxic optimist is about remembering emotions are not the enemy. They're guides. Accepting sadness, fear, or frustration doesn't make you weak, it makes you real. And between us, those who truly reach inner peace know sometimes the strongest thing you can say is simply, today, I need to breathe and move slowly. And now, another personality, you need to be aware of the manipulator. Manipulators don't ask for what they want, they orchestrate emotional traps to get it. They twist facts, use guilt, and create subtle pressures. And if you're not careful, you find yourself caught in their plot, wasting energy you should be investing in your own dreams. Stoicism teaches us those who fail to protect their peace become slaves to the emotions of others. The manipulator's favorite tactic? Reversing the roles, making you feel selfish for setting boundaries, making you feel cruel for saying no, making you feel guilty for prioritizing your mental health. Marcus Aurelius warned you have power over your mind, exercise it. And that starts by recognizing when a conversation stops being real and turns into a performance. One powerful way to respond: use the fog technique, answer vaguely, without emotional engagement. Phrases like, "I'll think about it," "I'm not sure," or "let me get back to you" disrupt their script. It's simple, but it preserves your autonomy. Another essential tool: setting firm, guilt-free boundaries. For example, if a colleague tries to dump extra work on you, you don't have to justify yourself endlessly. Just say, I can't take this on right now. Clear, direct, respectful to yourself and them. Here's a real-life example: that family member who only reaches out when they need a favor. Instead of getting defensive, say calmly, I appreciate you thinking of me. Right now, I'm focusing on other priorities. You acknowledge them without surrendering your limits. Epictetus taught, it's not what others say about you that harms you, it's what you believe about it. A manipulator only has power if you accept the story they offer you. Refuse the role. Hold on to your self-awareness. Protect your emotional energy fiercely. And remember this: your life is not a stage for other people's badly written plays. You are the author of your script, and those who know where they're going don't hand their steering wheel to anyone else. Guard your story. Guard your mind. Guard your peace. Have you ever noticed how certain people can steal hours of your day without you even realizing it? Endless calls, meaningless conversations, invitations to purposeless meetups. Time vampires feed on your inattention, and the more distracted you are, the more emotional energy they consume. As Stoicism reminds us, time is one of the most precious things we have, and wasting it is wasting life itself. The real danger of the time vampire? The illusion of urgency. Everything seems important. Everything feels like it can't wait. But when the day ends, most of it didn't actually move you one step closer to the life you want. Marcus Aurelius warned, do not let your mind be consumed by what doesn't concern you. Learning to distinguish what's essential from what's just noise is a critical life skill. One powerful tool to defend your focus? The Pomodoro technique. Work intensely for 25 minutes, then take a short break. Simple, but it builds a shield around your productivity. And when a time vampire shows up, you can gently but firmly say, "I'm in a focus session right now. Let's catch up later." Respectful and protective of your mission. Another important practice, learning to say no without guilt. Many time vampires thrive on our difficulty with refusal, but saying no respectfully clearly isn't cruelty. It's loyalty to your own goals. Every yes you give to things that don't matter is an invisible no to the dreams that do. Want a real-world example? That meeting you know will be a waste of time. That event you're pressured to attend but secretly dread. That random drop-by that turns into 3 hours lost. Whenever these invitations appear, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to the life I'm building or farther away? Your answer will tell you everything. Epictetus taught, focus on what depends on you, and the use of your time depends entirely on you. There's no point blaming others when the day slips through your fingers. It's in the small daily choices, the tiny yes and no's, that you build your destiny. And hey race, one final truth to carry with you: respecting your time is respecting your very existence. Those who master their time master their future. And when you protect yourself from time vampires, you're not being antisocial, you're being the guardian of your own freedom. Now that you know these 7 invisible anchors that silently weigh down your life, let me ask you, how many of them are still hovering around you today? And more importantly, how many are you still tolerating out of fear, guilt, or simple habit? The reality is, protecting your mental peace, your emotional energy, and your time isn't selfish. It's wisdom. It's courage. It's self-respect for the life you are trying to build. Every small choice you make today is shaping the person you'll become tomorrow. So take a deep breath and ask yourself, who are you sharing your energy with? What influences are you allowing into your heart and mind? And what changes starting today do you need to make to shield your journey from silent sabotage? If this message resonated with you, if something inside you felt the pull toward a change you already knew was needed, then take a moment right now. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. Because here, our mission is simple: to help you build day by day the strong, free, and conscious life you were meant to live. Come walk this path of growth with us. You're not alone. And your peace begins with a choice. Today, now, quietly, but with all your strength.